This is Alex with Utah Sustainable Gardening. About 2 weeks ago, we took apart the hive, we took off the top box, we added a feeder, and then the weather got cold. And this is the result of that. And I like you to see that right here, we've actually got what we call bridge or burr comb. And it's a sign that that the box is actually sized a little bit wrong because they're trying to fill in the space. So there's a little bit too much space in here, not enough comb. So that's interesting because they hadn't built anything in a couple of weeks. They hadn't touched any building, and all of a sudden they built a bunch of new comb. The comb they're actually on is mostly new anyway, at least half new. And one thing I'd like to show before we go any further is this is the way the box was originally designed, and it has been bugging me because it's hard to get the frames out. So over here I came over and they like that, and I cut off the side and then I ground it down so it wouldn't have burrs. So all my other boxes are now modified, so I won't have to deal with this anymore with the exception of this hive. And these ladies are actually pretty hot today. You can back off if you like, Maya. Pretty soon I will not be able to do this without some protective gear. I have to give up the flip-flops and everything else. So one of my goals for this winter is to get something that's a little bit safer to run bees with. But yeah, these gals are building again, and hope I didn't roll anybody. I got good brood. The pattern's a little bit funky, but in the areas where there's issues, there's nectar or pollen. So part of that's just the small size of my frames. I'll have to pull this one out. Once I get all my boxes modified, I'll be able to just stick it back in and pull out the next one. Oh, I've got a drone cell in here. If you'll come over here, and right there, that bullet-shaped one, that's a drone cell. I'm kind of surprised I got any. It's a fairly good indication. See, it's right there, you see? Just put a dent in the top. Hopefully it doesn't mess them up. Hopefully that's an indication of the vigor of the hive, that they feel they can invest in a few drones. And I've got a couple in here that look very much more Carney-like than Italian-like. So, oh, now that's good. This is, on the side nearest me, is full of, 80–85% capped reserves. I won't say honey. And so that has really improved in the last couple of weeks. This is starting to build up reserves as well. That side is around 50% capped. And so we're really doing quite well right now. I'm very pleased with what I see here. Again, whew, I'm in danger of getting stung here. So this is going to be the last time this season that I'm doing this without some protection and without shoes. Been kind of nice skidding off like that and not having to worry about it, but oh, they've even got reserves in that burr comb I showed you. You'll see it here. You've got, I won't call it honey, it's sugar water. That's all right there. So we are almost at a full hive. My main concern right now, I'm not going to scrape that all off yet. I'm going to wait till till spring to worry about it probably. My main concern, I've got brood, but how much the queen is laying. And right now, we may well not have much laying going on because this is getting so full of reserves. So, but I do have brood. Okay, I've got some webbing in there, so I've got some, might have some moth in there, but I think this hive is strong enough to fight it. If it's not moth, then I got a spider in there. I don't know if you can see this, but the string there.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Now let's ease this back in. And we're going to put this on top. Now, one thing to remember is keeping these combs centered in the box. And I've got some different, slightly different variations on size on comb. That's one thing about my manufacturer that's really been frustrating. But I want them actually touching at these lug areas, so that we have all balance in bee space here and bee space here. That way we get less bridge and burr comb in between. We'll still get some, depending on the genetics of your bees. So on goes the feeding cover again. The bottle of feed, I'll probably come in and refill it tomorrow. That's easy enough to plug that in or out. And we've alleviated a lot of the concerns I've had. So now it's a matter of keeping up enough breeding and enough egg laying, I should say, not breeding, but enough egg laying that we can fill it up with some more bees. But I'm feeling good about the hive now. I was really worried, but through reducing the size of the box, adding feed, we've really increased our stores. And you know, it's hard for a human to see it, but sometimes making something smaller really does make a difference in your bees. And honestly, sometimes it makes a difference in other critters as well. This is Alex with Quarter Acre Homestead and Utah Sustainable Gardening. Manana.